What the hell is up, you fucking cunts? Episode number 10 is up to bat. This has gotta be a big one, you guys. Not only is this the first episode reaching into the double digits, this is perhaps going to be the first public episode of the podcast. More on that in a bit. Fulcrum, of course, is back, returning as the host, singular host of the Resident Bummer podcast. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, but honestly, I don't know, my voice kind of feels like it's back, so it should be good to wow your pants off with my vocal undertones this episode. You know, I'm not gonna do any intentional coughing or wheezing like last week, unless if I feel the urge, I might just turn away from the microphone super far, because I didn't get far enough away last week, and those coughs were pretty loud all throughout the episode. I think there was like 3 or 4 coughing fits, which was unfortunate, but yeah, that shit was ass, and we're not going to be replicating that. Motivation check this week. We're looking at honestly, even though, I just heard a noise from out in the hallway, so I'm going to take an earphone off and just make sure nothing sinister is happening. I got distracted there. The motivation check for this week, I'm feeling at a solid 8. So, yeah, let's get right into this shit, right? Before we do, though, I have a little note here in my intro. For some reason, I wanted to quote Keemstar before entering this week's journal content, which is weird. I haven't thought about Keemstar in like 4 or 5 years. I feel like he hasn't been super relevant, unless I'm forgetting some stuff that happened in like very close post-COVID. There you go. That's how I want to say that, I suppose. Let's get right into the news. I don't know why. I think it was earlier today. I was thinking about how am I gonna hop into this podcast recording? And I was like, let's get right into the news. Just it popped into my head for some reason, and I was like, where is that from? And it took me I think 5 minutes, and I was like, oh my god, that's Keemstar. Yeah, I guess I had to quote him for some reason. I felt like a overbearing urge. So, next up, we're going to be moving on to our journal content on Friday, March 28th. The opening entry reads as follows. Set 10, day 1, 2:25 a.m. Watch some Community after I record to hang out and chill before bed. I schedule a message to send to Alex on Instagram in the morning for an update. Alex, if you remember, is Jack's friend who I've put an art commission in for. I don't know if that's the correct verbiage, but I'm going to pretend like it is and keep going on. I go to bed at 9:35 a.m. the next morning. I wake up and shower, but I realized that I forgot to jerk off earlier in the morning. I guess around 2 or 3 a.m. is when I went to bed, so I just totally forgot to splurt the girt. I'm trying to think of something funny to say, but that's all I can come up with, so I don't know. I think that phrase is a little bit overused and kind of tired, so that's all I can come up with right now. I fixed that situation pretty quickly, which is code for jerking off. I jerk off very quickly, and then I fuck around, wasting some time on my phone until I start up some more Community. Ooh, baby. Community. More on that in a bit. 7:55 p.m. I finish 1 episode of Community, then 1 episode of Morning Somewhere before I change for work. Speaking of which, I drive to work, and then I greet a new coworker on her very first day. We will be calling her Troy, with an I. Troi. Troy. 10:15 p.m. Sinead O'Connor is done. I finished her discography, it would appear, at this moment in time, and I think she has a lot of really good songs. There's a few albums that aren't, I think, I don't know, I've got to be honest here. I have a terrible tendency to forget most albums and like most information related to albums off of the top of my head. I have to go back and like look it up and be like, when is this? What year did this come out? Or what song was related to? What is the name of the album that this song came out? Okay, it's that and that. Okay. And the certain artists, obviously, I have a knack for remembering just because they're my favorites. And oh god, this is going to sound so pretentious, but I also hate picking favorites when it comes to music, because I just want to I want to take it all in, and just like, even if there's an artist with one song that I really like, and they have like, I don't know, 1,000 other songs, and I don't like any single other song except for that one, in my opinion, they're a good artist, and I'm glad that I went through them. I'm really weird like that, and you can shame me all you want. Fulcrum is not above it. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So I highly recommend Sinead O'Connor is where I was before this stupid fucking tangent that I just got off on. Oh yeah, I also bought my first ever bottle of liquor from my store. I got it, I think $15 off, because my manager was willing to, excuse me, I'm actually scratching my penis as I'm saying this right now. I feel like I should divulge that information, just honestly for myself. Can you imagine in 10 years I load up episode 10 of Resident Bummer and I just start scratching my dick 6 minutes and 50 some seconds into the recording? That's pretty cool. But yeah, I bought my first ever bottle of liquor. It was actually I got some gay head from Dan Aykroyd's personal queer collection. That shit is stupid, and I'm actually looking at it sitting on the desk that I'm recording on right now. Same desk my microphone is sitting on. Yeah, it's just one of those, I think Crystal Head Vodka is the technical name of Dan Aykroyd's line. It's got an LGBTQ plus artwork type painting, I guess, on it, or like design. That makes more sense. Design on it, and let's see. After I buy that bottle of liquor, I clock out while starting the musical artist known as Mastodon, or I'm pretty sure it's Mastodon, not Mastodon. I excuse my ignorance. I apologize. I finished their first album, and I really, really, really want to get a song from Mastodon. I didn't find one on that first album, so I'm hoping we find something on the next few. After this, I fill up with some gas. Yeah, that's grammatically correct, right? I don't know why my brain just hard froze there and was like, that sentence is incorrect, Fulcrum. No, it's not. Next up, I watched some Community while lifting and pumping my motherfucking buys and tries and delts, and I think lats a workout routine, or are they a muscle group, or are they both? Could be both. I don't know. I'm very ignorant to all this shit, man. I could just look it up right now, but I'm really not going to, because I don't think I give a fuck. I start the export on Resident Bummer episode 9. Next up, this next entry, sorry, that was a bit of a jarring transition. Start the export on Resident Bummer episode 9 before I head downstairs into my living room. Talk with my grandma and grandpa for a little bit while eating Red Lobster. Cheddar Bay Biscuits are actually not bad at all. It's been a while. I figured they kind of are overhyped, but I was eating them pretty fine. Given like an 8.3. Good Cheddar Bay yeah, they're good. Oh god, kill me. Cheddary biscuits are not bad at all. It's been a while. Next entry is I head back upstairs and I get the video prepped for upload. Boom, baby. Another one bites the dust. Episode 9 is uploaded. Currently, that was 6 days ago. Almost to the hour, I think. Yeah, good stuff. We're moving right along with this terrible fucking show that I'm running. Question mark for this entry's time. After shaving, I watch some more Community before I find a new favorite song. Wow, you guys, man. Pillar of Garbage by Natalie is Freezing. It is such a good song. It has absolutely no right to sound, honestly, quite as good as it does. It's a fucking good one, man. Moonlight, bleeding glass and healing needles, amputated hearts are never whole. Alright, that's it. I can only do it for a little bit, man. Just with, getting rid of Britta. I think I did with the last episode, maybe? Yeah, I believe so. To musical, and then I had the musical intro on, what was it, like episode 2 or 3 or 4, I can't remember, and I'm not gonna go back and check, because I don't give a fuck, man. But yeah, Pillar of Garbage, go listen to that song if you have not heard it before. Man, I don't know why, but I get so happy. Initially when I find the song, because it's incorporated into the show pretty naturally, but when I go and look it up on YouTube, and I think I eventually find a Spotify pseudo podcast / song, if you know what I'm talking about. Spotify has some songs that are actually like in podcast format, but they play just like a song, unless you can actually like scrub through them and go backwards and forwards 15 seconds. It's kind of annoying. If you want to just restart the whole thing, you have to drag it instead of just pressing one button. But oh well, it's good enough for me that it's on Spotify, honestly. But yeah, when I find it on Spotify, this is also super late at night when I like look it up on Spotify and I'm like, oh, it's on Spotify, holy cow. I get so happy that I start crying, dude. I don't know, I get so happy. It's weird. I don't want to describe it either, so I'm going to move on to the next entry, which is actually on the next day, because that is the end of the first day of entries. Set 10 day 2 is our next, oh my god, my armpit just, I don't know why, but my armpit just had like a shooting pain inside of it, as if like the skin just got cut. I don't know what that was, but that really distracted me. Set 10 day 2 at 3:10 p.m. I wake up a couple of hours before my shift, and I watch the last, I think I watched the last 2 or 3 episodes of Community here, if I'm remembering correctly. The very last episode, they get pretty meta. And they start talking about, oh my gosh, man, they need to make a Community movie. But it's been so long, I don't know how they would pull it off. Even in like the next few years, that would be crazy. Before I go for work, though, I take some cold medicine and some vitamin C. Say goodbye to my mama and dada, my grandma and my grandpa, and I take off for work. Cannot clock in because I'm not scheduled on this day. I let Richard know, and he takes care of it. Yeah, Richard actually asked me on Friday, the day before. He was like, hey, could you come in like 2 hours on Saturday tomorrow? I know you're not scheduled, but I could really use the extra help. And I was like, yeah, dude, I like working with you, Richard, so let's get to it. And he clocks me into the time punch system, yep. And after that, I leave after 2 hours of light work with 2 slices of hot za. That's pizza for the uninitiated. And I park back at my place. I think I remember, actually, I fucked up. I left the store without getting any napkins to place, and the pizza triangles that they're placed on top of don't really do a good job of soaking up all the grease, so they get pretty greasy underneath, and I didn't want to set that on my car seat, so I had to walk all the way back into the doors and I was like, I need some napkins. I'm going to get some napkins and put them on my seat. And I grabbed like 10 napkins, and they were like, why are you grabbing all our napkins, Fulcrum? And I was like, because I'm a devious piece of shit who doesn't respect this place of employment anymore. That's not true. None of that is true, and it cannot be used in a court of law. Next up, looks like we have a bunch of cars from the extended family, Fulcrum's extended family to be exact here. There's a bunch of cars parked out in front of Fulcrum's place of residence. I head inside and I greet everybody that's attending. I go upstairs, take a shit, then take a shower, because I just got off of, well, it was only a 2-hour shift, but I don't know, for some reason it felt like, my body felt like I had been there for at least 4, and I'd been walking around, and I don't know what it was. That was actually really weird. I got home and I was like, what? How is that a 2-hour shift and my body feels like it just got put through a fucking octagon for, what is that, MMA, or what is the sport that does octagon? Probably multiple of those sparring hand-to-hand sports. Oh man, I also, quick little side here, I get so bored when I watch those fights. It's just like, oh god, I think I could be watching just about anything else and be a little bit happier. That was a weird aside, but moving on. I take a shit, take a shower, then sit on the living room couch while going through some more Mastodon. Just want to make myself present in front of my family members, just in case they want to come up and talk to me. There's actually not a whole lot of people to do. It's weird, me and my dad are just sitting on the living room couch, and everybody else is in the kitchen talking. So I'm just chilling out, listening to Mastodon. I'm sure if my dad heard what I was listening to, he'd be like, dude, turn that shit off right now. But, oh well. I definitely have quite a few songs where he would say that. At 4:40 p.m., I asked Jack on Discord if he wants kids ever in his life. Another one of those weird questions that I wanted to ask him. He gives me his name for his little girl. I feel like out of privacy, I will not extend that information onto the podcast unless someday down the line he learns that it exists and he gives express permission, I guess. If there's so much as a burning consensus among the listeners, I might have to give the people what they want, Jack's kid's name. Oh yeah, he says he wants a little girl. I suppose I can divulge that much. He he said, oh, now it sounds weird, the way I just laughed. We're going to leave that behind, but it was nothing weird, trust me. It's just a little bit of information that he provided that, I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be between me and him. 9:20 p.m., I rewatched the first 5. What's the little squiggly line? With like it's kind of like a hyphen, but it's got a little bit of a swagger to it, I suppose, if you'd had to describe it in one way or another. The little squiggly hyphen, swaggered out hyphen, somewhere around 5, could have been 4, could have been 6 episodes, but I do rewatch the first some odd number of episodes from season 1 of Community, and I realize I don't think that I should be continuing this cycle of just rewatching Community. There's some other stuff I need to get to. But wow, for some reason Community is just hidden. It's hidden different, you guys. It's hidden different. I like it so much. And don't ask me my opinion on it or to critically analyze it, because I'm so biased that I'm just going to be like, oh no, I don't know, man, it's Community, so what are you going to do? Sorry. Next up I swapped over to Mad Men, and Dawn actually punches the hell. Oh, I self-censored there. I'm not going to do that. Let me restart that. Swap to Mad Men, and Dawn punches the fuck out of that Weasley little advertising guy, the Uts are for nuts, I think, if you're familiar with the show. And that might actually be a real corporation or company or product. I'm not entirely certain, and I could be, showcasing once again, my ignorance here. Well, I don't really care. Once again, next up, I watch Primer. It's definitely a well-shot movie, and I get the feeling it was an indie film. If I looked it up, and Wikipedia tells me it was independently filmed and produced, and I don't know, put into theaters. I don't even know if it went to theaters. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I know let me try that one again. I know startlingly nothing, next to nothing. There you go. Good God. About Primer. It was well shot, but the content was maybe a little highbrow for me, and recently I've gotten into a bit of a habit of just whipping out my phone and responding to people as I'm watching a movie or a show. I feel like, I don't know, well, I feel like I'm asking for it too. I'm sending a lot more messages out to people on like Discord, and I guess texting as well, and just, I don't know, trying to connect, man. Yeah. After Primer, I guess at 1:50 a.m. Wow. I watched some more Community while shooting off some more Discord messages to some of Jack's friends. Then, oh man, this is the part of the podcast where I have to come to terms with the reality I've created here. This is the night where I actually messaged an old friend and gamer and cool guy and slick Willie, if you will, back in the day. I think I met him like somewhere around the year 2017 or 18. We played some Black Ops 3 Zombies, and we also, while we were in an Xbox party together, we 100% predicted that PewDiePie would make a meme review show, just to like start cataloging memes on his YouTube channel. Also, we're going to call this guy that I am mentioning here, we're going to name him Charlie. I actually really hope that's not his real name. I can't remember what his real name is. So, I guess Charlie's a vague enough name that... Vague enough name. Vague? I don't know. Oh shit. Vague. Vague. I think you can say that both ways. Can you? Vague. I am not wizened enough for this one, so I'm just gonna keep on moving along as we do. Charlie, I hope your name isn't Charlie, but it's a common enough name to where, oh well, that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, I also, weird little tidbit about Charlie, I actually also voice acted, and he used to be a bit of a memer. He liked to make memes on a little comedy app/website, there we go, known as iFunny. This was back when I was in the later portions of my high school years, I think, and he was like, dude, I need to use your voice in one of my memes that I'm making. And I was like, sure, just give me a phone call and record the call. It was really weird. He might have been a year or two older than me, so it felt a little weird while I was in high school, but I don't know, man. I was down to get wild. I do ask Charlie on the night of Saturday, March 29th to just go ahead and share the podcast with one person in his life that he hates and who loves to waste time and who likes listening to bad audio, which is what you're listening to right now. Yeah, self-described bad audio. Moving on. Moving on to our next day of entries. It's going to be Sunday, March 30th, which is set 10, day 3, 9:25 a.m. I wake up, I check my YouTube page to see if anybody commented after showing it to Charlie, and thankfully nobody has. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of a relief, because then I would have to start reacting. And the moment where I start reacting and, I guess, putting more and more and more thought and time and effort into this terribly fucking stupid ass shit that I'm recording right now, is probably not for the best. So, good thing I don't have to deal with any comments or increased views or anything like that so far. I shit, shower, and then I change for work and take off after saying goodbye to my grandma and grandpa. 2:45 p.m. Hugo or Hurley makes a joke. Oh my god, this fucking entry. I think... Okay. No. I was gonna... Man, I'm not even gonna mention it now, but I was gonna do something, and that would have been a mistake. We should start a podcast together covering the horrors. Oh. Well, I just made a mistake there, too. I just totally... pulled the rug out from underneath myself. Hugo or Hurley makes a joke during my shift that we should start a podcast together covering the horrors of retail, and he wants to name it RTSD, also known as Retail Traumatic Stress Disorder. And I am shaken to my core when he mentions the word podcast. I can't lie. Or I guess the phrase making a podcast. Or we should make a podcast. Because I'm not gonna lie, that shent. I am gonna fucking kill myself. Nope, I'm not gonna do that. Talk to a therapist or a friend or a family member or somebody in your life that cares about you. If you don't have anybody in your life that cares about you, there is a hotline that you can call for preventing your own suicide, I believe. But man, Hugo sent a shiver down my I fucked it up twice. I gotta move on. I can't make the joke. That's unfortunate. At 11:45 p.m., Troy, if you remember Troy, the newest addition to our workforce, does not show up for her second ever shift. Clock out of work and I skip them all. Get home and watch some more Community. You would have guessed it, or maybe you wouldn't have. But you'd be a damn fool to not. More Community. Quickly thereafter, I grab the chords associated with Pillar of Garbage. I give a few of them a strum on my electric guitar. Oh my gosh. Did Fulcrum just tell everybody that he's a fucking guitar master? Because that would be a lie. I haven't taken guitar lessons in about 9 or 10 years, probably 10 or 11 years, closer, maybe even 12, could be. Oh no, I think it's like 13. It's got to be closer to like 13 years at this point. I've picked it up here and there over the years, but never in an official capacity, and it's just been sitting in my basement. Well, my basement is a heavy term. My parents' basement is more apt. It's been sitting down there with the amp and some chords. And I just decided to bring it up to my room and start trying to learn Pillar of Garbage on the electric guitar. 6-chord electric guitar. I'm not gonna lie. It's, I'm not great at it, but I think if I put some time in over like the next month or 2 or 3, I could get decent at like just, strumming, and then once I get confident with some strumming, maybe move on to some picking. Picking, I think, from what I used to remember, was my greatest enemy. Just getting like some picking combinations down, especially like going all the way up and down all the frets while picking. It's like strumming's just a bit easier in my opinion, especially depending on what you're strumming, I suppose. But I don't know. It just feels more natural to me, I guess. Then after this, I watch an episode of Mad Men while lifting some weights. Only get 30 minutes of lifting in now. I'm feeling a bit lazy, I guess. Oh, garage door's opening, so I'm just gonna... garage door opening dance. I'm doing a little bit of a funky jig right now, if you can hear my voice kind of moving. And then the garage door's gonna come up and down again in a little bit. I think I might be running the garbage out to the street. Thanks, Dad. I should probably start doing that more often, because I'm just a bloated corpse taking up space in this household. Yeah. I was feeling a bit lazy. Didn't get the pumps in while watching Mad Men. I have a question mark for the time on this next entry. I eat some pizza with Grandma and Grandpa. Then I head back upstairs to do God knows what. I think I probably watched some Community here, but for the large part, is that grammatically correct? For a large part of the rest of this night. How about that? That sounds clean. Nice save, Fulcrum. Yeah, most of this night has been lost to memory entirely. Yeah, something big happened here. It will not be remembered, at least not on this podcast and not in my mind. And I also wanted to take a moment of silence or two. Oh, you know what? The garage door is probably going to go off, so maybe I'm going to try and time it so that the garage door goes off in the middle of the moment of silence, maybe. Let's take a moment of silence for all of the lost tales and memories and feelings and emotions and people that that we do not remember any longer. The fucking garage door. It did. I hope that picked up, because that was funny. Oh man. Good timing, Fulcrum. Speaking of good timing, I think we've got a big event coming up here on the next day, which is appears to be Monday, March 31st, set 10 day 4 of our little journal entry excursionanza. Is that a word? Excursionanza? It is now. I'm kind of into inventing words these days. You'll see what I mean in a moment. 12:50 a.m. a.m. p.m. p.m. It's supposed to be p.m. 12:50 p.m. I didn't wake up at 12:50 a.m. and enter that. 12:50 p.m. I wake up pretty early, add Richard on Snapchat, and then I send him a goofy picture because I want to foster this relationship with Richard. I shit shower and then I clock into work, and Richard immediately tells me that Troy already quit. She worked one 5 or 6 hour shift, something like, or maybe it was 7 hours. I think it was closer to a 7 hour shift. She quit immediately after that. She didn't work her second shift, and she didn't show up for her third. And that's all, folks, on that front. 1:05 p.m. we go through more of Mastodon and play some Pillar of Garbage in between. Every 3 or 4 songs that I go through Mastodon, I'll just be like, whew, I need a break. I'm gonna listen to some Pillar of Garbage. And man, it's Pillar of Garbage is, I don't know, what else can I say about it? It's a fucking phenomenal song, and you should go listen to it right now. It's available on YouTube as well as in podcast format on Spotify. Go ahead and listen to it, you bozos. 4:50 p.m. Hugo or Hurley and Benjamin are bickering. I tell them both, Hurley and Benjamin, okay, good. Tell them, ladies, you are both being annoying as fuck right now, so if you could just both be quiet, that would be awesome. And Hugo starts laughing, and Benjamin, I don't even remember what his reaction was. I think he was just kind of benign about the situation. He was like, okay. And Next up at 6:30 p.m. I clock out and park in front of my house, but I realize, I was supposed to go to the mall for a very specific reason as well. Damn. I drive back out to the mall, and I hope my mom didn't see me pull away from the house. I continue my search through Mastodon while I'm sitting at the mall, and big entry here, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and start up the next Foodery and Fair event of the Resident Plumber Podcast. Go fucking crazy. Let's go fucking crazy for some fucking Foodery and Fair, bitches. Oh my god, I'm so ready to shove shit down my gullet and swallow it on mic. Alright. Oh, you know what we got? You know what we got for this Foodery and Fair event? It's a big one, you guys. I'm gonna start wrestling the wrapper so you know I'm not lying. This is, oh my god, and I hit the mic. That's pretty cool. The exact name of this cookie is a peanut butter chocolate chunk with Butterfinger pieces cookie. Oh man, these are pretty crazy. I bought, I think I bought 8 of these, or 4 of these, and 4 salted caramel cookies last week. They were, I think 6 or 7 of them were eaten in a couple of days. My parents tore through them, and you love to see that, man. I paid for it on their credit card because I knew that they were gonna I knew it was for them. I was picking them up for them because they love them. So I was like, yeah, they can foot the bill because I know that they're gonna eat all these. I had like 1 or 2 out of the 8, which is typically the reverse of what happens. I'm usually the one eating all of the junk food and chips that are left around. They don't get to those quite as quick, which is good for Fulcrum. Oh yeah, he gets the chips and the chives. I don't know if that works in a literary sense, but it rhymed, or alliteration. Is that what it is? Fuck, I'm choking right now here on this portion of the cast. Oh, we gotta open this cookie anyways. Excuse me while I just go ahead. Yeah, this is gonna be the next like 5 or 10 seconds while I get it out of here and get the sticker all torn through. There we go. My goodness, Fulcrum doesn't know his own strength. Good lord. Alright, we're about to pop this first piece in, and then we will move on to the next big entry in our journal. Whoa! Cookie's speaking to me, and it isn't even in my tummy yet. That's crazy. Here it goes, guys. Holy cow. That's really tasty, you guys. If you ever get the chance, try a Butterfinger cookie. Really tasty. Okay. So, at 6:45 p.m., Fulcrum tries to ask, okay, I'm going to get some more cookie in my mouth, because I just got to say this with some cookie, man. There we go. Got a cookie in my mouth. Fulcrum tries to ask his first stranger about the kind of music they listen to. They tell Fulcrum they don't have time to talk, and they keep walking. Now, to be fair, let me get some more cookie here real quick. There we go, more cookie. I was a fucking idiot. I kind of tried to find the correct words, and I was kind of sputtering for, I would say a second, but it was like 2 full seconds where I was just like, excuse me, can you do 2 questions? Well, I don't think it was that bad. I'm kind of hyperbolizing, but I don't know, man, I choked. I feel like I kind of choked. It was weird. So they fucked off, and I was kind of paralyzed with fear for the next 25 minutes, so I just kept going through music, and I think I might have been updating that stupid Discord server that I'm in by myself. So, after this, I get up out of my seat, I walk back to my car. Once I sit down in my car, I start playing Pillar of Garbage to forget about the lady who acted like a total cunt and told me to fuck off with her eyes. I'm gonna kill her with a fucking hammer. No. We can't do that, Fulcrum. You can't embrace the dark side. It's not how we choose to be. After this, I think I mentioned it, but I do put on some Pillar of Garbage on the way home. After that abysmal showing, to help me forget about it, I read the prologue of the Cole Protocol after watching some more Community. There is a female Spartan who I cannot remember the name of that saves a man named Ignacio Delgado, I think, and then his friend Mako, I think. I don't know, could have gotten those names totally wrong. I'm just trying to pull what I can from memory. I should probably read a chapter of that tonight now that I'm thinking about it. 10 p.m. I talk with John about his kids that he may or may not want. Thank you, Fulcrum. What kind of jobs he's looking for. Then I let him know about the conversation I had with the person at the mall, or rather the lack thereof. The anti-conversation where I said, "Excuse me, can I do two questions?" And they were like, no. And they kept walking. To be fair, they weren't my type, so I didn't feel like I was creepy by asking them. Not like they were bad looking, but they were like, if I had to guess, maybe 5 or 10 years older than me. So, Fulcrum's not looking to climb the tree unless someone hoists him up the tree. You know, you never know who you're going to find or what's going to happen, but certainly my plan is not to date someone 10 years older than me for my first girlfriend. 2:30 a.m., I watch a lot more Community than I fart. There we go. A whole fucking lot. Before I head off to bed, I realized that the lady with her kid was a bit of a tipping point in some ways. This must have been on the podcast, but it was early on. Somewhere within the first 4 or 5 episodes, maybe 2 or 3, I think. There was a lady who came and sat down with maybe her daughter. I think it was a little girl, but there's a lady who came out with her niece or maybe her daughter, and she sat down. In my brain, I was like, whoa, why is she sitting so close? But I think it was just like a normal amount of distance. I can't remember at this point. It was so long ago, so don't crucify me, man. I'm just swimming through my thoughts right now. I don't know why, but my brain was just like, oh God, I really hope this person doesn't come up and ask me a question, because I'm going to have no idea how to answer it. And then once I have no idea how to answer it, they're going to think I'm going to creep, and then they're going to start recording me, and then they're going to start posting me on the social media. No, not necessarily that, but I did think that they were going to come up and try and ask me a question for some reason. And I remember my heart kind of started racing. I was like, I don't even know. It was a bit, honestly, good thing I started thinking like that, though, because that's not a normal human reaction to just having another human sit nearby you. So, it's good that I it's good that I not only had that happen, well, it's not good that it happened, but it's good that I recognized that it was happening, and I was like, this is not okay. I'm just sitting next to another human being, and I'm getting, I don't know, my heart's racing, and I'm just like, what do they want with me? What is going on here? Why? There's so many other open seats, and then they chose this one that's like pretty vaguely close to mine. So I'm like, what's the we got a theme here going, but I don't know if this is grammatically correct or not, but what's the perchance here? I I hope that's grammatically correct, or not. That's kind of funny too, but excuse me. That was an unintentional throat noise into the microphone. I said I wasn't going to be doing it intentionally, but that wasn't intentional, was it? Silly bugger. Yeah, that lady with the kid was a bit of a tipping point. Glad that I recognized it as such. Moving on to our next day here. Set 10, day 5, 12:30 p.m. I wake up early, can't fall asleep, so I shit, shower, shave, and brush my teeth. Then I watch Moulin Rouge. Great movie. Highly recommend you watch it if you have not. And I'd give it like an 8.4 out of 10. Also, if you noticed, I'm talking a little fast here because I think I'm going a little long on this episode, so I'm going to try and speed it up. And I do type a little bit in some Discord chats and stuff while watching the movie, but for the most part, I watch it, and I like what I saw, so I like it, and I like it a lot, and I'll like it when I watch it again, in like 5 years. I don't know. I don't plan to watch it in 5 years, but excuse me, that cookie's speaking. My goodness. I do not plan to watch the movie in like 5 years. But if it comes up and someone's like, yo, we should watch Moulin Rouge, I'll be like, okay, that works. After this, I watch even more Community. I hope I find something to replace it soon, because this is not a healthy amount of television to be consuming. At 3:35 p.m., the character that we have once referred to as Tex responds, talking about, that was my hip bone, or like my hip joint. That was a crazy pop. That one definitely picked up. Tex responds, talking about 3 Days Grace and her top picks from them. She gives me 3 songs from She. I'm going to say She again with some quotation marks. Yeah. Oh God, I just realized I definitely don't want to let her know about this podcast either. It would be kind of rude. I'd just be like, yeah, I don't believe you at all. Oh well. Then we have a conversation that's, frankly, a little bit too long for my tastes. I kind of feel like scum because, I've been feeling a little lonely over the past 2 or 3 months, and here's this person trying to pick my brain, but without imparting too critical a judgment, Tex can be slightly grating sometimes, here and there, maybe. Who knows? I sure don't. Perfect time to hop on over to the mall. I let Tex know that I can't really respond for like 10 or 15 minutes until I get out there. 4 or 5 p.m. I sit down, I listen to some Beethoven. Look at that, listening to Beethoven. How cultured, before I muster the courage to ask another. Just another random person walking by. I was like, hey, excuse me, if you could only listen to one musical artist for the rest of your life, who would it be? Much better to ask that question outwardly instead of being like, can I ask you 2 questions? Because, well, the 2 questions is a bit weird, I guess. Just come out and say the question, man. Like, the first question would have been, do you like music? Who the fuck doesn't like me? Or do you listen to music? Who the fuck doesn't listen to music? Second question would have been, who's your favorite musical artist? No. Just get to that second question immediately. I don't know what I was thinking with that first person, but I kind of feel sorry that I even said that shit to her. That first person, I should say. I might go for another little bit of cookie right now. That thing was tasty. This will be it, though. This will be it. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh no. I just spilled cookie out of the pop filter. That stinks. This random person gave me a song from Jesse Murph titled How Could You? And another song by Joyner Lucas. I cannot remember the specific name of, but I know it's on the ADHD album. So I'm going to have to go through that album at some point. Whew, excuse me for the deep sigh. Also, I've never brought it up, but I know that I sigh and I breathe heavy into the microphone. And since this is the first public episode, I don't know why I'm christening it as that, but let's go with that. I feel like it's a good time to mention, yeah, I'm just never going to stop, like, breathing deeply into the microphone, or sighing, or breathing inwards into the microphone. It'll always be there, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not a heavy guy either. I think last time I weighed myself, I was 160 at 6'2", somewhere between 6'1" and 6'2". So I'm not like a heavy or overweight guy anymore. I used to be in middle school and high school mostly. Yeah. College was COVID, and COVID is when I lost most of my weight. So I'm going to try and blow that little chunk of cookie off of the pop filter right now because it's really grossing me out. Sorry if the wind from my lips makes it into your ears here in a second. But give me just a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. Oh, that was crispy. Flew right off into some random corner of my room to be forgotten for the next 10 years. Sorry, Butterfinger cookie crumbs. That's me licking my fingers in victory. Yeah. Oh, God. Where is my... Oh, yeah, okay, so next entry is I got 2 artists/songs for the price of 1. Cha-ching. I didn't even choke this time either. Sorry to the first lady. Thank you to the second. At 11:20 p.m., after some dumb-ass texts with Desmond, I decided to start writing up some community smut. I feel like I can only continue to bring this up on later episodes, so I'm going to keep it a little bit light. We're running long on this episode. Community smut, you guys. I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. The community smut is going to be some fan fiction with involving some relations that take place between Brutalitops, the magician. He is a magic user, baby, and the other character's name. Sorry, I just slapped my palm while making a number 2 appear on my fingers on my right hand, and I slapped my left palm to be more specific. The other character's name is Hector the Well-Endowed. For some reason, I believe they probably mention the race of the character and the creed and whatever class that they are, but man, I guess I'm a fake fan. I cannot remember what class or what else is on character. God Lord, Fulcrum, get your thoughts in order and then say them, dude. Holy cow. I don't know what was all on Hector the Well-Endowed's character sheet, but I do know that he's got a fairly large penis, so we can work with that while typing up some smut, you know. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting some light assistance from ChatGPT. Okay, sorry to say it, but this artist could use some help spreading his wings. How about that? Author, not artist. I mean, authors are artists, but not the other way around, or mutually exclusion bullshit, whatever. I don't know why I had to lean away from the mic from that one, but whatever. We're writing community smut, and I've been on this point for way too long. Between my next entry, of course, is between Brutalitops and Hector the Well-Endowed. Yeah, I already said that, man. Question mark. Watch the D&D episode of Community to start pulling some lore, some characters, character names to be specific, and you know, maybe some more specific phrases that I can use in smut. Moving on to the next day of entries. Set 10, day 6, at 5:50 p.m. I wake up, obviously not at 5:50 p.m., you fucking jack off. I shower and brush before another episode of Community, and do some light work on my smut novelization. Also, this entire time I am pestering/being pestered by people on Discord. Figured I just need to keep reminding everybody that that's happening. I drive to work and, oh god, I just hit the desk. I might learn to stop doing that one day, but it's not going to be within like the first year, probably. I do think I'm going to, right now, I foresee no reasons that I discontinue the production of this podcast, which is nice, but we're getting off on another tangent and we don't have the time, so I drive to work and clock in. Richard asks me to cook and put away some products. Hugo or Hurley tells me I'm being a bastard more often than not these days, and I let him know that he's rubbing off on me. Gay. That shit's gay. It is gay to rub off on another man. I'm not gonna lie. At 1:35 a.m., trivia again with my dad, just my dad this time. And some of the people that he works with. My mom is not in attendance, and neither are my sister or her family, her husband and son. Neither of them are there. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see them, but I do end up getting the 8th Amendment correct. And I also know the name of a Red Hot Chili Peppers song titled Aeroplane. I like pleasure spiked with pain, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane. Sorry, I feel like I just gotta, if it's a song that I particularly enjoy, I will just start singing it on the podcast. And you can get mad at me if you want, but man, that song's like an 8.5, so I'm not even gonna be mad about singing it. Next up at 2:05 a.m., I watch some more Community at home. Well, wouldn't you guess it, typing up some more Community smut. What? Oh, we don't have time for those long bits, Fulcrum. You gotta keep going. I need to start putting a timer on my typing sessions, because man, when I put pen to paper, I lose track of time. Nuts. After this, I cry a little bit while I watch the puppet episode of Community. I missed some of the plot points the first time I watched the puppet episode, so when Shirley was like, oh, I'm a bad mom, and I left my kids unattended, and I can't remember what it was, but I was like, oh, what? I didn't hear that part when I watched this episode first, which is weird, because it's kind of like the whole point of the episode. You can tell I get distracted on my phone at some bad moments, or critical moments, I should say. But yeah, and then there was the part where, who else had was it Jeff that had like a really sad puppet truth, or I don't know, there was like one or two other puppet stories where, or maybe it was Abed, I can't remember. I don't know, maybe I need to go watch the puppet episode again after oh my god, I hit the mic, and I'm gonna go and rewatch another episode of Community instead of reading a chapter of the book that I got for my birthday. And I'm also going to move on to the next day of entries, because we're about to break an hour on this episode, and that's no good. I mean, it's not terrible, but I'd rather keep them around like 40, 50 minutes typically. Next up, set 10, day 7, 9 a.m. Wake up early and can't fall back asleep. I shit, shower, shave, then I watch some more Community. Wouldn't you fucking guess it? I save some smut to the cloud so I can access the smut and edit the smut wherever inspiration strikes on the smut. Strike my smut. I don't know what just possessed me there, but I think, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of cooking up a decent plot, and I'm liking it. I'm having fun. I think, all the characters, what I'm having them do, and how I'm having them interact, or at least the planning that's going on in my brain is going to be like, okay, so I have to make sure all of these character traits are, thoroughly displayed in my book, I suppose. Next entry here is at 5:30 p.m. I change for work, drive, and clock in. Anna is annoying as fucking hell today, man. She's getting on my nerves. Thankfully, though, Richard did mention that she is on the chopping block. I was thinking of how to phrase that, but yeah, she is on the chopping block, which is great. He's looking to either shape her up or ship her off, which is fantastic to hear. I don't think he has any plans for me because he's the only person from my store that he's invited out to do stuff with outside of work. I feel like that's a pretty good indication of where I'm sitting at with, that was a close one. I almost said his real name. Could you imagine? Next up, Benjamin replaces Doe. No, I haven't gotten there yet. 5:30 p.m. Thankfully. What a smooth transition, Fulcrum. That was deluxe. 5:30 p.m. I change for work, drive, and clock in. I've already said this part. Anna is annoying. Dogan replaces her, and I rejoice. I'm like, Dogan, what's up, man? And then he's there for an hour, and then after that, Benjamin replaces Dogan. And I'm pretty nonplussed with the fact that Benjamin has showed up. I'm pretty peeved, if I'm to keep it real. He asks a really dumb question to me while I'm on break as well, just as the cherry on top, you know. I feel like I hit my table there, but I don't know if that one popped up on the mic. I'll have to check. 8:45 p.m. I clock out, head home, dogs. My dogs get into a fight, or my dogs and my sister's dogs get into a fight, and I have to stop it. And I have to run outside while in my underwear. And I have to be like, Mustard, Nala, Mustard, Nala, stop fighting. Their names are Mustard and Nala, by the way. I don't know if I have to censor their names, but I'm not going to anymore. I screwed the pooch on that one. Hey, get it? Do you get it? I bet you don't, you dumb motherfucker. Sorry, that was a bit aggressive, and I'll have to move on now. Looks like I do a little bit more work on my smut after calming the dogs down. It's coming along nicely, but it will take a while, to be honest. I think it's going to be a work in progress I could see it taking anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months. I'm not going to lie. It's going to take me a while. Let Fulcrum spread his wings, guys. And then after this, I watched 2 more episodes of Community. Let me get another take on that one. I watched 2 more episodes of Community before I rise up to the recording of episode 10 of Resident Bummer, which means it is currently the eve of tonight's first professional recording. Nah, that's not true. Nothing about this is professional, or will ever be, probably, but I guess I'm going to have to start stepping my game up here if I'm actually trying to promote this thing in a real way. I feel like this was a pretty smooth episode. Had some, obviously, I think every episode's going to have at least 1 or 2 rough patches, just because that's the kind of person I am, but I don't know. Something about it. I don't know, it feels like it adds to the Fulcrum charm. At least that's my excuse, you know. I can make a shitty podcast if I recognize that it's shitty and admit that it's shitty while recording the very same podcast, right? That kind of makes it a little easier to digest, at least for me to digest what I'm doing here with all of this nonsense. And also, quick little update. It is the final night of jerking off. The month-long escapade of Fulcrum's Hammercock Adventures. I don't know. That's all I could think of really right there. It's gonna come to a close tonight, but I was thinking maybe I have the dates all mixed up. It has been like 20 plus days now. It's not like I have any kind of a journal or a place that I've stored my thoughts where I can go back and double check on this stuff. So I think I might actually just do, another day or 2 of straight JOing, just to be safe, Like I said, I can't remember when exactly this all started. I don't keep a journal or anything. That would be stupid. Now I guess this is where I try and remember exactly what I was jabbering about throughout this episode. think, I do know, I didn't write it down, unfortunately, but there was a phone call or two with Jack. It's just more of a regular occurrence. I might have to start writing some more of those details down in those phone calls, or maybe not, I don't know. Could be more of a private thing between me and Jack. I guess I won't make any moves on that until I know his opinions, which will be like in a year and a half when I eventually decide to let him know that this thing exists. No, I have no idea when that's going to happen, but that's going to be crazy. It's also going to be crazy when I let Desmond know, or Kimi. Some of them I might just not let know until like 20 years from now. Could you imagine? It'd be so weird. That'd be so fucking weird if your old like high school or middle school buddy was just like at 60 years old. He's like, "Hey, dude." That's a really bad old man voice. I can do a better one. "Hey, dude, I've been recording a podcast, and I'm wondering if you can listen to it. I haven't found many viewers over the 40 some odd years, so if you can give it a listen, that would be great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to bother you, and have a beautiful life." Terrible stuff. This podcast is going too long, so I don't care about what I talked about in this episode. I have to end this very, very quickly. A little bit of a closing point here for some housekeeping. There might actually be somebody here listening to this right now. Charlie, if you're listening to this, sorry, dude. I didn't mean to rope you into this, but here you are, and here I am, and we're living, and we're alive. I guess that's all I have to say on that front. Thank you for listening, you idiots. That's just for the collective, like the royal you. Every single one of you. That's not specifically for Charlie, but Charlie, you are an idiot too for heeding my request. You don't know what you've done. I guess, bye-bye. Psych. Did you really think I was gonna forget, you stupid motherfucker? Am I really making a podcast? Or am I just jerking off?